When Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty was released, they added a way to start a new game so that players could access the expansion right away. It takes place after a series of missions in Act 2, so this start will automatically complete all the missions necessary to let you progress into Phantom Liberty's main questline. It also levels you to 15 and gives you a Techie Netrunner build. Since some missions have choices that you can make, in this video I'll be going over what missions have been completed and what choices have been made in this save state, which for convenience we'll call the Phantom Liberty save state. First, let's go over what main missions have been completed. We'll get to the specific choices made later on. The prologue and all of Act 1's main jobs will be completed, so that includes the opening life path mission, all the setup missions for the heist, and the heist itself. Also the Johnny mission Love Like Fire that autoplays after the heist. Act 2 is where it starts to get a bit funky since only some need to be completed. Playing for Time is completed, the mission where you meet Takamura at Tom's Diner. This mission enables Johnny dialogue and sets in motion the Evelyn Parker questline, all of which are completed up until the point where it transitions into Judy's questline. That begins with the mission Both Sides Now, which is available and allows for Judy to be romanced. This also means that one of the 4 tapeworm events is completed, which happens after the mission Automatic Love. I made a whole video about that mission if you're curious about it. Then all of the Alt Cunningham missions are completed, so all the ones where you deal with the Voodoo Boys. Another Johnny flashback is also completed, as is the second tapeworm event, which happens after transmission. Also after the mission transmission is when Songbird calls and directs you into Dogtown. If you start the game normally, it doesn't matter what order you play the missions, you just need to complete the Alt Cunningham arc to unlock the Phantom Liberty expansion. And for main jobs, that is what's completed. The Pan Am and Takamura questlines are untouched and begin at Ghost Town and Down on the Street, respectively. Now let's talk about some of the choices the game makes for these missions. In the Act 1 mission The Pickup, where V and Jackie are sent to pick up the Flathead from the Maelstrom, things are resolved peacefully as both Royce and Dum Dum are present during the mission's second conflict later in the game. This means that Meredith Stout's romance mission is unavailable. I checked to see if her body can be found at the Easter egg spot, but there's nobody there. There's also no credit shard in your inventory, so maybe in this save V never met her at all. One last thing is that during this mission, if you're a Nomad V, you can tell Jackie to make some changes to his bike, and then when you get it later, it'll be a slightly better version. Well, regardless of life path, this save state gives you the upgraded version. The next choice comes from the heist mission. At the end when you arrive at the No-Tell Motel with a dead Jackie, Delamain will ask what to do with the body. In the Phantom Liberty save state, a shrine memorializing Jackie can be found at his mom's bar, complete with his 2 signature pistols. This is spawned during the side mission Heroes, which is a funeral ceremony for Jackie. This is also where you'd normally unlock Jackie's bike. This version of the mission only happens if you tell Delamain to either A, send his body to Mama Wells, or B, tell him to wait here. If you send the body to Victor Vector, Arasaka raids the place, takes Jackie's body, and then turns him into an engram you can encounter in the Arasaka ending. So I'm not sure which option was picked, just that it had to have been one of those two. What is weird though is that in this save state you can't find Mama Wells at all, but in a save where Jackie's funeral plays out normally, she'll be present in the bar from then on. Both Jackie and Mama Wells are also missing from V's list of contacts. Act 2 isn't as exciting or world-changing, but still contains some noteworthy choices made. From Evelyn's questline in the Phantom Liberty save state, Woodman is alive and Fingers is still available as a Ripper Doc. So V doesn't off Woodman at Clouds and doesn't physically assault Fingers. Since Judy's questline can still be completed, you'll have the opportunity to end Woodman later in the side mission X Factor. From the Alt Cunningham questline, the Voodoo Boy stuff does not end peacefully, which means that V either sided with Netwatch during the mission I Walk the Line, or attacked them after exiting cyberspace in the mission Transmission. In either event, the Voodoo Boys and Brigitte are killed. What is strange though is that Placide survives whatever happens. This is confirmed since you'll have a message from him telling you to watch your back. During the Phantom Liberty mission The Damned, you'll arrive at a Voodoo Boy hideout. If you sided with the Voodoo Boys in I Walk the Line, you can talk to the guards and they'll let you enter peacefully. However, since Brigitte was disposed of in this save state, they will be hostile towards you. And just for good measure, Slider also confirms that Brigitte was killed in this save state. I believe those are all the choices made in the main questline. Next, let's take a look at the side jobs. The entire Delamain questline is complete. The 2 missions where V's car gets wrecked by a Delamain cab, all the epistrophe missions, as well as the final mission, Don't Lose Your Mind. You start this save state with the Delamain car in your inventory, so either he was reset or all the Delamains were merged together. I don't think the core was destroyed, because in that option, all the rogue Delamain personalities will start sending you messages, and I never got any in this save state. As mentioned earlier, the side mission Heroes is completed as indicated by Jackie's shrine and V having Jackie's bike. The Sandra Dorset mission, Full Disclosure, is also marked as completed. I'm not really sure why though, since this mission normally doesn't activate until you unlock one of Regina's later gigs, and in the Phantom Liberty save state, none of the gigs are completed. I also mentioned Meredith's romance encounter being unavailable, so the mission Venus and Furs cannot be completed. 2 early game minor missions, the Gig and the Gift, are unavailable as they aren't listed as completed in your journal but are also not present on the map. And lastly, the side mission Love Roller Coaster is available. This one is interesting because under normal circumstances, this mission becomes unavailable after the mission Double Life, which is from the Evelyn questline. The NPCs disappear, but you can still fix the roller coaster. In this save state, the mission is available despite Evelyn's entire questline being done. It is located around the back of the Grand Imperial Mall. Every other side mission, at least from what I can tell, is available. Even the mission The Gun hasn't been completed, which is the one very early on where you get Dying Night. In addition to that, none of the gigs, Cybercycle encounters, or NCPD scanners have been completed. Before we move on, I want to quickly mention the Corporal exclusive side job War Pigs. It is available, which shouldn't be a surprise, but what is surprising is that you can talk Frank out of attacking you. I believe this can only be done if you talk through all the dialogue with him during the prologue mission, so it seems like that was accomplished in this save state. Something you may be wondering about is loot, such as iconic weapons found during these missions. Sadly, I don't think anything is picked up. No iconic weapons, no shards, no clothing, and no iguana egg from Yorinobu's penthouse. Clipping back into Konpeki doesn't work either, so no iguana in this save state at all. No Ding Dong Bat from the No-Tell Motel either. And for those wondering, Nibbles the cat can be adopted as usual. For the iconic weapons, you'll have to purchase them from Harold at the Dogtown Stadium. The apparition seems to be available regardless of life path, which is dropped by Frank if he attacks you in War Pigs. I didn't find the pink Johnson here though, so it seems like it isn't available in this save state. Hugo is alive though and can be dealt with to get the BFC 9000. Some people have reported that Dexter Deshawn doesn't spawn, but he did for me and the gun is available on his body. You oddly do have the clothes from the prologue mission, but do not have V's favorite clothing items that you get during the mission The Rescue. So V's favorite shirt, V's pants, and V's sneakers. As far as I know, there is no other way to obtain these, so the only way you can get them is on PC using the Cyber Engine Tweaks console to spawn them in. And with that, I believe we've covered most of the choices and effects of the Phantom Liberty save state. I personally prefer getting rid of Royce and Dum Dum and saving Brick, but aside from that, I'm pretty satisfied with the choices they made. There's also some weird inconsistencies like Mama Wells being MIA despite having done Jackie's funeral. I didn't use this starting option until recently, and I gotta say, it's kinda nice being able to jump straight into the main crux of the game right away. If you're ever overwhelmed by the idea of starting a new save, then this could be something worth trying. That does it for this video. Thanks for watching, and feel free to let me know if I missed anything in the comments below.